Boom, boom, bam. Welcome back to another episode of the Great Debate Show. I'm your host, your favorite Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. Or in the words of Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? Well, I want to start the show off with some breaking news, both bad. First, I'll give you the not so bad. Justin Fields dislocated his toe on his right foot this morning early in practice, and he was taking off on a cart in practice in training camp. This was like day one or day two of practice, and nobody knows what to expect, but it could be worse, but they don't know the severity of it. He did get off that cart and walk to the back to the locker room after he was on a cart. He wasn't on the back of the cart. He was on the passenger side. Some people say that when you're on the back of that cart, it's a lot worse. So that is maybe something to kind of be optimistic about. But again, that's the not so bad news. The bad news from Hulk Hogan. If anybody doesn't know, there's been a lot of rumors on what's going on with his health. But Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71 years old. It was just reported by TMZ not even 15, 20 minutes ago. I'm a little late getting on here because I wanted to check my resources and make sure that it was actually true. You know, a lot of people on the internet are dead these days, and it's not really true. Now, we just said yesterday, or whatever day it was that Ozzy Osbourne passed away, we just said it was going to be a third one because that's true. Not to sound like the old folks, but it's always in three with the deaths. And a lot of people that watched the Great Debate Show talked about Ozzy Osbourne, but nobody said anything about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Malcolm Jamal Warner is better known as Theo Huxtable. I grew up watching him in my household, so I am familiar with him. He was the first one as far as celebrity deaths, and then came Ozzy Osbourne the very next day. And what is this, 2 days later now? Here's Hulk Hogan at 71. They said it was a cardiac arrest in his home in Florida. There were rumors going on for the past few weeks, though, that he had complications from a neck surgery that he had back in May. They have denied a lot of those rumors, but I don't know if this had anything to do with the cardiac arrest or what. I'm not sure. But as far as we know right now, Hulk Hogan, 48 hours later. That's right. Thank you, Awesome Austin. How y'all doing today? I hope all is well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday so far. Grand Rising, kings and queens. We never know when that time is coming, but we know our time is coming. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to make anybody sad or feel bad, but I heard Hulk Hogan's theme music, and it's crazy because I was just listening to it in the gym yesterday, like on everything I love. And I never really listened to Hulk Hogan. I didn't like Hulk Hogan. I wasn't a fan. No need me lying. But I do believe in what my mom always would say. She always says, God bless the dead. And so I don't have anything bad to say about Hulk Hogan anymore. I've said enough bad things about him while he was alive. None of that matters anymore. He's no longer here with us. And I was listening to NWO, though, yesterday in the gym. And I sent it to my brother because he loved Hulk Hogan. He loves Hulk Hogan. Never had a bad thing to say about him. Even after all the controversy and all the racist things that we have heard him say. I was listening to him yesterday, and it was the NWO that I was listening to because that's the Hogan version that I like. The black and white Hulk Hogan, heel Hollywood Hogan. I liked him, but I couldn't stand the say your prayers and eat your vitamins Hogan. But I don't really like a lot of baby faces. Never did. So tell me why I heard his anthem, his theme music just a minute ago after somebody broke the news. That's when I knew for sure, oh damn, it's real. Let me tell my audience. Just talked about wrestling yesterday. Just talked about the leg drop yesterday on how it would never make your list as far as top 5 wrestling finishers. And man, I almost shed a tear when I heard the I'm a Real American Hulk Hogan theme. I hated that shit. I always did. You know, I like the NWO shit. The Hulk Hogan. The big gold with the NWO spray painted on it. But when I heard that song just a minute ago, I ain't gonna lie, I almost broke down. So I had to kind of gather myself and get myself together before I came here to tell you all the news. We all got to do it someday. Again, rest in power Hulk Hogan. What was his real name? Terry Belushi or something. I can't even pronounce it, but it wasn't anything close to Hogan. That was all stage. But rest in peace to Terry and Hulk Hogan, and condolences to his family, his wife, his family, his kids, his friends, everybody that's near and dear to him. Yep. Okay, they said it comes in threes, and that's it right there. First, Malcolm Jamal Warner, then Ozzy Osbourne, and now Hulk Hogan. Again, though, back to the sports. Sorry to hear that news, and I just wanted to break that down. Terry Beloya? Yeah, something like that. That's right. Well, that's it. Hogan is the GOAT of wrestling, though. I mean, no doubt about it. We can say we like The Rock. We can say we like Austin. We can say we like The Undertaker. But we wouldn't have any of them if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. That's one thing that I've always been able to agree with anyone about. No matter how much I hated him, there's no professional wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. Everything the WWE has done today, everything that they're still doing today, how they continue to grow, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't from Hulk Hogan. We wouldn't know what an action figure was. Selling a t-shirt, any type of merch, Hogan started all of that shit. So he is the true GOAT of professional wrestling. And we've always said that, though, kind of. Not just because of today. We've always said it. But it definitely needs to be said today. Okay. I want to say what's up to everybody on YouTube right now. Al Gaming and Sports is in the building saying hi. Hi to you, Al. Elijah Faith is in the building saying hello as well. Hello to you, Elijah. Hope all is well. Kings and queens. And now let me speak to everyone here on TikTok. Sheldon Leeser says rip to a freaking legend. What you said. Matt, I can't believe people are cheering he died, talking about he was racist. Like, come on. Matt, thank you for the comment. I just said that I hated Hogan. Never did like him. But again, I had enough time to talk about what I disliked about Hogan when he was alive. I won't take the time to say anything negative about him now that he's no longer here with us. And that's not me being fake or anything like that. I've always said he's the GOAT, but I just don't like him. And that's it. I didn't like him in the ring either. But God bless the dead. And so, no, I don't have anything to say. Yes, he was a racist. Yes, a lot of people said and thought that he was a piece of shit. But there's no need in talking about that now. You know? And who knows? Maybe all of those things that he's did in life is the reason why he's not here now. Maybe he would have lived to see 81 or 91. Who knows? I'm not the creator. I don't know that. I leave that to the powers of the universe. And this is what the universe had in store for him. I think that it's a lot of cruel and evil people in the world that'll say damn near anything they can say just because they can fucking say it with their gangster fingers. So don't pay that any mind. Don't pay it any attention, man. You're right. It is wrong. And it's a lot of fucked up people in the world, y'all. I mean, it just is. I had 1,900 people watching my YouTube channel. I know this don't have anything to do with Hogan, but I had 1,900 people watching me. That's the first that's ever happened on my social media live streams. You know, like I don't have a large following. I don't have a large audience. 1,900 people, only 25 people wanted to hit the like button. Could you imagine what would have happened if 1,000 of them hit the like button? People just like to just hate for no reason at all. They don't even have to know you, and they just like to hate on you. They'll sit up and watch you as long as you give them the content, but they don't want to support it at all. So that's just how some people are, man. But you're right, man. You're right. It's not right for people to be cheering his death. I wouldn't dare do that now. Ash McNasty said Penta is going to get a massive push. I'll tell you that. Triple H is going to push him to the max. Okay, we'll see. I don't know. It's hard for me to say anything about what Triple H is going to do. If it's not his buddy, I wouldn't count on it. But it's hard to see people get pushed if they don't have a manager that can speak or if they can't speak. We know he's a phenomenal wrestler in the ring, but I don't really just care about wrestling matches. So if he can talk better and do promos and things like that, I'm okay with the push. But I know some other people that can already do those things, and he ain't pushed them yet. Ultimate Brandon said Hogan and Austin, two of the biggest wrestling stars of all time. No debate here, brother. Mesmer, they saying Hogan is still alive. He's at the hospital now. Nah, I don't believe that. Bleacher Report has reported he's dead. TMZ has reported he's dead. There were a lot of rumors on what was going on with him, but it seems like a lot of those rumors were true now. I wouldn't believe whatever that is that you're reading or hearing, Ultimate Brandon. Mesma. I don't know how true that is. Is he still alive, y'all? I'd love to hear that if he is, but I don't think so. I made sure. I was for sure before I hit that live button. That's what took me so long. I wanted to get my facts in order. I didn't want to come over here and tell y'all that and that wasn't true. But Mesma is saying that he's still alive at the hospital. The reason why I know that's false is because he didn't even go to the hospital. I heard this overly dramatic story the other day on how they brought the hospital to his home. He was there for a short period. They snuck him in the ambulance. Well, he wasn't even in an ambulance. He was like in an unmarked vehicle. It was a lot of things that they did. They said he got the Michael Jackson treatment. He was really trying to hide, and anybody to know that he was, in that hospital or leaving that hospital. And he didn't want anybody to know how severe it was either, whatever was going on with him. So I think that may be it, man. Mesma, I think he may be gone. There is a white 3 and a black 3. Says Shaggy the Drink Slinger. Thank you for joining me, Shaggy. I'm confused at what you mean by that. A white 3 and a black 3. I don't know what that means, man. If you could please tell me what that means. Amen says Lewis 1 with prayer hands. Yep. God bless the dead. Your boy Sir is in the building following. Thank you for following me. What's up, Shaggy? I just spoke to him. John Blick says Jesus is Lord. Repent. That's right. Something we all should do, right? Thank you for the comment, Doc Freeze, giving me Hulk Hogan's real government name, Terry Balea. Dylan is in the building. Thank you. And thank you for following. Z says you sound like E40. Damn. E40 doesn't sound country. My ass sounds country. I love E40 though. I love E40. Would love to meet him one day. And we rep the same team. Ash McNasty said he know. Okay. What's up, Vince? Vince Garcia is back. He says, how do you feel about Hogan after his racism and bigotry? I think it sucked, but I still don't wish death on anyone. Big Country 45 says Hulk Hogan did pass away. I thought it was true. I thought it was true. Ash McNasty said go on Google. You can't go on Google all the time, though. Bryson Covington says R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Ash McNasty says yes, he died from cardiac arrest. Yep. Z said forget Hulk Hogan. Everybody want to say rip, but yet they must have forgot that he was racist. You're right, Z. There's no doubt about it. He was. I've just acknowledged that. But still, this is not the day that I want to talk about that, though, Z. I feel you, brother. I do. I get it. But I've had enough time to talk about how he was, who he was. And we've done that. I've done that on this show. Lord knows, if you've ever listened to the Great Debate Show, I've let it be known what I think about Hulk Hogan. There's no sense in doing that now, though. Keeping it real. Bang, bang. Cowboys game. Laughing emoji. Stop trying to be like us. C. Dig says, what's up, bro? I can't call it, man. I can't call it. Can I vibe with just join? Thank you for joining. King sent the rose ×2. Thank you, King. Thank you. Sean Hampton says F Hulk Hogan. Oh, wow. Wow. Whew. Tough crowd. Berg said Brock Purdy. I wouldn't have read that either, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to read everything. Sometimes I get the reading before I get the speaking, before I actually read it. Hulk Hogan did a lot for the business, and you can't deny that, says Joseph Tremor. No, you can't. I just explained on how and why he's the GOAT. He really is. Regardless of how we feel about him, he was the GOAT. Y'all Blue Jays fried us Yankees. Now, I'm not a Blue Jays fan, Matt. I'm not. Just got the hat. What's up, LeBron James? For joining us. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's see here. Yep. I think, hey, buddy, what's up, Thomas Oliver? He says, hey, what's up, man? He sure did get the Michael Jackson treatment. He's gonna see Jackson in heaven. Oh, wow. Wow, JD24. That's what I heard for real, though, about his latest incident going to the hospital or trying to get from the hospital. They just kind of brought everything to the home. You know, you can do that when you got money and stuff, and when you're a celebrity like him, but yeah, maybe there was some complications or something. I'm not sure. What's going on with Salute Guy? 556 in the building. Says, do you like basketball or just football? Both. But I love football. Love it. Thank you for the question. American Made in the building. Says Bret Hart got to see the end of Hogan and Goldberg in the same month. He's living his best life. He saw the end of Goldberg in a retirement match. Goldberg is still living with us. Man, tough crowd, y'all. Tough crowd. I wonder what would happen if I said to some of the things that these people are saying in the comments. And again, I'm not judging anybody. If you want to hate them, hate them. If you want to love them, love them. And if you're just like me, where you're just like, I didn't like them, but still, hate to see them, hate to see them gone. Then okay, I'm not judging anybody for whatever they feel, but I'm going to stop reading those comments because I ain't trying to get canceled for saying things that some people may not think is appropriate. I've said all the right things that needed to be said, and I'm going to move on. Justin Fields. That was the breaking news starting earlier this morning before we got this tragic breaking news about Hulk Hogan passing away at 77. Y'all, I was just talking about Justin Fields and how I think that this is finally going to be his year, or at least I hope it will be, because, this is his last chance. And he's got to show us all that untapped potential. He's got to put it out there, showcase it on the field, and let us know what's up. I was just talking about how, man, Justin Fields and Breece Hall, this is going to be a dominating running game that people are not probably expecting, but they're going to run the ball good. When they throw it, it's going to be good because Garrett Wilson is still there. He's happy and paid. And Aaron Glenn, I just got high hopes for the Jets this year. And then this morning in practice, he's carted off to the locker room with a lower leg injury. Then about 15 minutes later, they said it's a toe injury. Then about another 5 minutes later, they said it's a dislocated toe. So we found out pretty quick what's going on with him. The only thing we don't know now is the severity of that injury. I don't know. Is it going to be good? I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's just a couple of weeks. He can be ready for week one, or if it's something that's going to keep him out for a little while. I'm not sure. Now, toe injuries are some of the most difficult, complicated, fucked up injuries that you can have. Dion dealt with a turf toe injury for the majority of his career. Now, I don't know exactly when it started. I think it might have started when he got to San Francisco. I don't know if he had that issue in Atlanta, but I know it was going on in San Francisco somewhat, and it got worse in Dallas. That may have been where it started in Dallas, but I think it might have started in San Fran, and then that played a part to the rest of his career. Just think about how good he probably could have been if he didn't have to deal with that nagging toe injury. And I think after all of those years, even after being retired, I think he finally had to have that toe amputated. So I'm not saying that all of that's going to happen to Justin Fields. I'm just saying that these things are so tricky, and we don't know the severity of it, and you don't know how long he'll be out. Tyrod Taylor is the Jets' backup quarterback, and he is a serviceable backup quarterback. However, we don't know if he's serviceable enough to get them wins until Justin Fields can come back. He was already getting paid as a bridge quarterback, and we don't know how short that bridge was for him. Let's see what happens, but this is bad news for the Jets. You want to be optimistic if you're a Jets fan, but how can you? When things like this always happen, you can't do anything but have flashbacks from 2 seasons ago when Aaron Rodgers was throwing that flag up in the air, and it's like, oh shit, they lit at MetLife. The Jets, are they really going to do what the Jets have never done, or since the Joe Namath days? Are they really about to be relevant, good, playoffs, Super Bowl? That's what all the hype was surrounded around the Jets during that offseason. Coming into the season, the media was covering them like crazy. And then he got hurt. The third play of the game. Week 1, Monday night against Buffalo. I think they ended up winning that game still, but still. They lost Aaron Rodgers for the season. We don't know what would have happened. We know what happened when he came back the second year, but it just seems like the Jets can't win for losing. Bad news after bad news after bad news. And this is why some Jet fans say that they are officially cursed. I hate it for them. How do y'all feel about Justin Fields? Some of y'all probably don't think they were going to be anything anyway. I get it. But I had high hopes for them, and now I don't know what to say or what to think. I'll have to see what happens. Let's see what the tests and the MRIs and all of that stuff shows, and we'll go from there. But if he can't play, there's no way I can see Tyrod Taylor getting them 10 wins, 9 wins. The things that I was maybe reaching for, but I thought that it was actually possible that they could get 9, 10 wins. And I'm not so sure if they can do that now. Now, again, Tyrod Taylor is a serviceable backup, but he's only good if you need him to step in for a couple of games. You don't want him to be there for anything more than a couple of games. If Justin Fields has to miss September, I'm kind of confident that the Jets could still be 2-2 when Justin Fields comes back. But if he's got to miss more than that, yeah, that's their season. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what everybody's talking about here. I'm a Justin Fields believer, says Joseph Trimmer. Me too. I hope everything works out for him. I think we're going to be a regular, smegular team this year. I have high hopes, though, says Niners fan 49. Regular, smegular. I don't even really know what that means, Niner fan. But I hope we're better. I hope we're good. I know you said you got high hopes. I hope we do turn out to be pretty good. I do. Okay. Man, my eyes are so watery, man. I almost broke down for real, I'm not going to lie. I heard that Hulk Hogan music and just the fact that it's the picture of him being dead at 71, that kind of fucked me up. And I can't believe that because I am very insensitive for the most part about damn near any and everything. But it's still always God bless the dead for me. How the hell we lose Ozzy Osbourne and the Huckster in the span of 3 days? Hey, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to say Theo Huxtable. There's no white people. Are y'all white, Hispanic, or whatever? I know you can't be black. Are black people the only people that know Malcolm Jamal Warner? Don't leave him out of it either now. It's a little disrespectful. Now, if you don't know Theo, you don't know Theo. But I mean, I know damn well y'all know of Theo. I know y'all do. Don't just talk about Ozzy and the Huckster. We lost 3 people in 3 days. 4 days, 3 days, yeah. And it comes in threes. It was Theo Huxtable first, then Ozzy Osbourne, then Hulk Hogan. Y'all put some respect on his name too now. I don't believe that none of you don't know Theo Huxtable. I find it hard to believe. You may have didn't watch the Cosby Show, but I know you've heard about his death. But to answer the question, no big deal, Stiller. That's life, man. That's life. We all gonna do it. We're all gonna do it. Owen said Rip Hook. Hydraulic Moth said he was a horrible human being, but damn, one of the best to ever do it. That is true. That is facts. Says Hydraulic Moth. Matt said Tyrod is tough. Is that good or bad, saying he's tough? Oh, Tyrod is tough. Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think you think that's a bad thing, and it kind of is. Jason in the building said, I didn't know Hulk Hogan died. Tear emoji, yep. Yep, he has. Watch out for Houston. We coming this year. Oh, I'm watching. I'm watching Bunzomatic 915. I'm watching. Bro, you guys have injuries, and the season hasn't even started yet. The Niners are trash, dog. Thank you for your comment. Joseph Trimmer in a Justin Fields. Oh, I read that already. Andrew the GOAT, it was 71. Yeah, I said 71. DeMarcus, rest in peace, Hogan, greatest ever. That's right. Just found out Hulk Hogan died, says 5-star Ray. Yep. Had to play the Hogan slam back one more time, says Brandon. Royce Moorfield, first Ozzy, now Hogan. All right. Okay. Yep, y'all are saying fuck Theo. That's basically what you're saying. Now, I just said, I know y'all know who the hell Theo Huxtable is. Again, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne, to Hulk Hogan, and to the person that nobody is talking about on these live chats, except for B-Ball Fantastic over here on YouTube. Shout out to Theo Huxtable. Rest in peace to him as well. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Okay. Guys, I don't even know what else to talk about. What else is there to talk about? I mean, there's nothing happening right now. First, let me read B-Ball Fanatic. Rip Hulk Hogan, that's right. Theo as well, that's right. B-Ball Fanatic also said, bro, I'm Hispanic, and I know about Theo. Yeah, but Caucasian people are acting like they don't know him. B-Ball Fanatic also said, rip the Ozzy. That's right. Thank you, B-Ball. Now, that's the way you do it. You pay homage to all three of them. You don't just talk about the two white people. Now, I know white people know who the hell Theo Huxtable is. They still ain't saying nothing. Kev said Malcolm's mom said he was killed. That could be true. I wouldn't doubt it at all. I mean, didn't he do a video or something that morning in Atlanta? And then all of a sudden he died on the coast? And how many celebrities always drown? I mean, Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends, he drowned in a tub. Whitney Houston in a tub. A lot of people die in tubs. Y'all believe that actually coincidentally be happening for real? No. I don't want to say anything or hit you with any conspiracies though with Malcolm Jamal Warner. I don't know if he was even a part of the Illuminati, because he definitely wasn't on TV as much like most of them are. So maybe there was some gatekeeping going on. But if his mama said he was killed, then he was killed. I don't know why his mama would say some shit like that. But yeah. Yep. Okay. Dolph in the building. What's up, Dolph? He said, do you think Caleb Williams going to do better this season? I have the slightest idea, man. I don't know. Y2K Baller just joined. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I don't know about Caleb Williams, man. We could talk about it, though. Don't sleep on the Vikes. I'm not. I like the Vikes, and I love their head coach. Love it. What is this? A at LX? Damn, no response on 14 on live. I'm out. Bye. Okay, see, I didn't read your comment. I didn't see it. Y'all gotta stop being so damn sensitive and impatient. Like, damn, I'm not gonna read 300 comments if I have 300 comments. Why would I do that? Ain't nobody got time for all of that, bro. His question was, where do you get your Niner championship belts? I got them from WWE Shop. I shouldn't have told you shit with your impatient ass. Hulk Hogan changed wrestling for sure. He sure did, Mike Gibson. No doubt about that. Hulkamania ain't running wild no more. Oh, man. Tornado. Thank you for the comment, y'all. All right, let me stop reading this stuff because some of this stuff is starting to get a little disrespectful. Everyone becomes a terrible person when they are ill. Not gonna lie, it's sad that the last time we saw him was at Mania. Was he at WrestleMania? I don't know. Was he? Malcolm and Eddie. Hell yeah, I know Malcolm. Rip. Thank you, Lone Wolf Richie. Finally, somebody wants to say they know him. The rest of them know him too, I believe. That's why I'm gonna stop reading most of this shit, because they just being disrespectful. They know that black man. Yes, Hulkster is dead, says J-Man Vikings. Is he dead? Yes. Adam said, I grew up on the Cosby Show. Thank you, Adam. Adam Leon 8. So did I. But back to Caleb Williams. I don't know. The last time I saw him, yeah, I'm with Joseph Trimmer. The last time I remember seeing him was that January 6th episode on Netflix when they debuted. I don't remember seeing him again. And that's because of what happened that night, how everybody just booed him out of the arena. I want a Niners championship belt, but they're so expensive. I'm going to start sending these championship belts to people whenever I get to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to send this one off probably when I get to 2.5K. and I'll mail this one to whoever becomes my 5,000 subscriber. I don't say that enough either. I guess because I'm a long way away from that number. But a lot of people do compliment my belts here, and I appreciate that. It could possibly be yours. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Subscribe. And hit that notification bell while you're at it. And I am going to deliver these to somebody. Or ship it to somebody. Reese, what's up, Reese? He said, you were right. It comes in threes, brother. Crazy. It does. It does. It does. And if some of the white people who act like they don't know Theo, if you don't believe that it comes in threes, all right, then it's somebody else going to pass away that you know, since nobody wants to count him. I'm gonna stop right now at 3 with Hogan. But for the people that act like they don't know Malcolm Jamal Warner, it's going to be a third. It's going to be another person in. And you're probably going to love him even more than you love Ozzy and Hogan. And I would say that's probably just what you get for being disrespectful. Thank you for the comment, Reese. B-Ball Fanatic said exactly, bro. Loch Ness says, Ole. Ole ne? If that's Spanish, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what that is, what you're saying. Thank y'all for hitting the like button, too, on YouTube. Thank y'all for following and liking this live stream here on TikTok. Share this live stream. Like it and follow, please. Okay. Yeah, y'all. So let's get back to Justin Fields. I mean, not Justin Fields. I'm hoping that he is okay, and I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. He's got a dislocated toe on his right foot. That's Justin Fields. That's the breaking news out of the New York Jets training camp. Now, back to Dwayne. What's up, She-God? Said, damn, Hogan. Crying emojis. Yeah. He's a huge wrestler fan. I know Dwayne. And hope all is well with you, brother. But yeah, I know he doesn't like to hear that. That's not a wrestler he doesn't like, to be honest with you. So I know that kind of breaks him up a little bit. Thank you for joining me, Dwayne. Yeah, it's official. I didn't think it was true at first, so I was a little late for the live stream because I didn't want to tell y'all that and it wasn't true. But it is, unfortunately. Hulk Hogan is gone at the age of 71. Carolina Blue said the next earthquake will come from Hogan and Andre. The next earthquake? Dolph said Caleb. Yeah, Caleb Williams. Let's get back to Caleb Williams. Jason says, rip the Hulk Hogan. Chris says, I am sad. What's up to the Kim? Yeong in the building. Yeah, back to Caleb. This is some things that were said the other day by Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Now, I liked some things that he said. He said that we're going to be under the center a lot more this year. These are some of the things that you can expect for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. And this is how I play with the Chicago Bears on Madden. Under center, a lot more play action, so you can read the field a little better. Get the feet work right. He said he wants to work with his feet work, get your step, plant your foot, get the proper, footwork in order, have the proper stance in the pocket, all of the things that matter, working on some of those intangibles. He also talked about his completion percentage. He wants to get that up to 70%, just like Jared Goff, the former quarterback that he was calling plays for over in Detroit. Now, Caleb Williams was at like 63% in 2024, his rookie year. So he's got a little bit ways to go to get to 70, but Ben Johnson thinks it's possible. He thinks it's doable, and he thinks he can do it. That's a good comment there, to be honest with you. 14, 18 with the crown emojis. Sully. I can't really say all of that, but hopefully they know what that is. He said, rip Hulk Hogan, F. Terry Beloy. At least he said rip Hogan, though. And he's telling you about how he thought about the actual man, not the character. Who do you want debate the most? Who do you want debate the most? What do you mean, Anna Man 27? I'll debate with I'll debate with anyone about anything damn near. It just depends on what day it is. But Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson wants his completion percentage to get back up to 70%. To get up to 70%, it never has been. He also wants him to work on his feet work, everything in the pocket. And he wants him to be under center more, and there's going to be more play action. And they just want to get better acquainted with those plays. And these are some of the things that he wants to see from his quarterback. Is this too much to ask for? I would say not. Alex Smith got sent all the way to, I don't know where he went. I think he was in LA. Alex Smith got sent to go train with this guy who actually works with pitchers for the most part, but somehow he actually helped Alex Smith with his throwing accuracy, along with Tom Brady, who went to go see him years prior. Drew Brees went to go see him years prior. Some of these things actually help these quarterbacks because Drew Brees in San Diego wasn't that good. But Drew Brees in New Orleans, he turned into a future Hall of Famer. Tom Brady wasn't all that the first couple of Super Bowls. But by 07, he was the shit. So, you know, you can help these quarterbacks out. And I don't know if Ben Johnson is planning on doing that. I hadn't heard that he done that during the offseason. But like I said before, he's got the talent, the arm talent. I think it's mainly between the ears. And if Ben Johnson can get that fixed and get that polished, along with him being under center, working on his footwork, more play action, making the right reads, I think he'll be fine. But I still have to see it. I'm not just going to predict, the Bears are going to the playoffs. The roster looks good on paper. I think they can get to the playoffs, especially with Ben Johnson being there. I just can't say that because I don't know. And I'm saying I don't know because the quarterback is the most important position on the team. And I'm not completely sold on Caleb Williams just yet. Because a lot of bad things that I saw from him in 2024, it was on him. It wasn't so much that the protection wasn't there. It was that you're holding the ball too long, bro. It wasn't so much that nobody was open. It was that he didn't see them until it was too late. Sometimes when you try to throw the ball, you have to do it with anticipation. And he would throw the ball when, okay, now you see him open. But by the time the ball arrives there, he will not be open. And if he can just work on things like that, not holding the ball too long, not taking so many sacks, throw it away, live to see another day. He did a lot of moving in and out of the pocket, but he was moving, going nowhere fast. So that's why it's hard for me to just say, yes, Caleb Williams is going to be the shit this year under Ben Johnson, and the Bears are going to take off. I would like to say that, but I can't. Only because I just don't know. Yep. Leland said, rip the Hogan. Faye Smack in the building. Thank you. Just got the number 2 gifter badge. Faye Smack says the Bears will make the playoffs. Now you didn't watch the Bears for real. That's cap. The O-line failed. I'll admit, I did not watch the Bears a lot. I said when I saw them. See, y'all be hearing what y'all want to hear. I said when I was watching, I saw him holding the ball too long. I saw him scrambling, but going nowhere. Throw the ball away. Get rid of it. Things that I saw, it was just as much Caleb's fault as it was the team around him. The only thing I thought was bad was the coaching staff. Keenan Allen was his wide receiver last year, along with DJ Moore, and they got that good tight end. There was some talent there last year. Now, Keenan Allen isn't returning, at least not yet, but there's talent there. Now, if the O-line is bad, okay, cool. The O-line is fixed then, right? He addressed the O-line this year. Ben Johnson did. He hit the ground running with it. But the O-line didn't look that bad all the time. But if you say that, hey, it was the O-line, okay, cool. But don't call me a liar, Faith. You don't know me like that. You ain't got to go that far. Just say that I didn't watch the Bears much. I'll admit I did not. And it's a reason for that. But if he was better, I would have been watching. Y'all, I'm not here to please everybody and say what you want to hear. I'm here to give you my honest opinion and assessment on what I think these teams are going to be. And if you don't want to hear my answer, don't fucking ask. Now, I don't think Faye asked that question. I don't remember. But still, this is my answer. If you want to give your take on the Chicago Bears, go do you a podcast and give your take on the Bears. Has the offensive line gotten better? I'll ask you that. Is it better? Because I thought that they were trying to fix that offensive line before he took his first snap as a rookie. But if it still wasn't good, cool. Is it good now? Just give me an answer to that, please, Faye. Because I got a response for that as soon as you give me that answer. Anna Man 27 says, I meant which NFL or NCAA football player would you debate on? Sorry about my typing. Okay, no problem. Which NFL or NCAA football player would I debate? Man, anybody. To be honest with you, NCAA right now, I would say Jeremiah Smith. I think that's his name, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. When is he going to be able to enter the draft? Because he looks like he's bad to the bone. I like him, and I would like to talk about him. We can debate something about him. We can debate Arch Manning. Is he going to be the shit, or is he just overrated? And, you know, he's there because of his name. We only got 3 games from him last year as far as starting games, so we don't know what to expect. But because he has the last name Manning, everybody's saying, watch out for Texas. That could be true, but I don't know that. I don't know that. And when it comes to NFL, Anna Man 27, we can debate about any player. Any player. That's just what I do. That's what we do here at the Great Debate Show. Hell with you, our kid says, let's go Niners. Bang bang. Dolph said facts. I don't know exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure it was something that I've said earlier, and I appreciate it, Dolph. Thank you. He said, I'm going to drop a follow, man. Thank you, Dolph. And I like the name too, being here in Memphis. Love the name. Trent 2033 says, Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. Yep. Alex Smith was blessed the whole time, says Faye. Faye Smack. Blessed? Okay. I don't know what you mean by that either. How? What's the wide receiver core look like for this season? Who's wide receiver core? Rip Huckster says Colin C. Here's a debate. Hogan killed TNA. No debate there. Says, may God. Y'all are so crazy this morning, man. DJ Too Sick says, go Niners. Bang, bang. R.I.P. Hogan. NFL player. Why everyone dipping on us? Says, yo. Right. Kevin Nash is the last original NWO, says JJ. Okay. Chris said he was my favorite. Victor Silva, what's up, man? Okay. Looks like I'm pretty caught up. Yeah, another one dead and gone, man. That is true. We all gonna do it. Okay, let me get back over here to YouTube. That guy Yeager is back in the building. He said, despite what you may feel about him, I never speak ill of the dead. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. That's right. That's all I'm saying. I said enough ill stuff about him when he was alive. So God bless the dead. I understand people's frustration. I do. And I understand that they're going to get sick of hearing all of the stuff that they're going to hear. Because a lot of white people who don't care about him being racist, some do. And if you're one of those, I'm not talking about you. Okay? Not talking about you. But to the ones who didn't give a damn about anything that he said racist, and they're still going to like him and love him regardless, they're going to overdo this, you know, and a lot of black people that didn't like Hogan are not going to want to see that, you know. Some people you hear about is passed away and you don't hear anything else about it again after a day or two. We may hear about this for weeks to come, and that's saying a lot in social media with the internet and everything these days. Like some things, there's something that happened 3 months ago, but because of social media and the internet, it feels like it was 3 years ago already. So a lot of people are going to be frustrated hearing Hogan when they didn't like him. And I get it, but still, God bless the dead. We all have to do it someday. Just put yourself in those shoes. I mean, I know you don't want to put yourself in his shoes right now, but you know what I'm saying? You're going to leave this world one day. When you do you want people saying that you were a piece of shit? Is that how you want to be remembered? Now, again, I understand. Live a better life if you want to be remembered well and, you know, keep people in good memory of you. I get that. But still, I was always told if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Why can't we go back to that? It just tells me how people were raised. When we get to looking at all these crazy things and all the crime and stuff that goes on in the streets, it's like, Man, who does stuff like this? And they say, well, it starts from home. And then people get in their feelings and say, well, what are you trying to say? Trying to say that it starts at home, motherfucker. Raise your kids right. Talk to your kids. Talk to them. Discipline them. Teach them something. These days, people don't teach their kids anything. They just don't. And reading some of the comments today, I'm sorry. I understand how you feel about them, maybe negatively. But this ain't the day to say those things. And it just goes to show how people were raised. Or that they were not raised the right way. Your mom, 123, said Hogan just died. That's right. My generation don't know how to run a government. Who has? What generation has? Raiders says Kate. Kate. I don't know what that is, man. But I feel you, man. Raiders. I got you. Dolph says that's life, man. No doubt. Anna Man 27 said, does it really matter what he said? It don't bother me. Well, I can't see who you are, Anna Man 27, so I'm going to leave that at that. If you don't look like me, then I can understand why it wouldn't matter to you. But if you look like me, well, yeah, it kind of does matter. I mean, if I just go on a rant right now, let's just say you're a Caucasian. I don't know who you are, what you are. I see an animated cartoon picture right there on your profile. So I don't know who you are, Animan 27. But let's just say you're white. And I say some horrible things right now about white people. You wouldn't give a damn? Man, if you wouldn't, cool. You shouldn't. I mean, I'm way over here and you're way over there, wherever you are. And I'm not physically harming you. So I get it. But, you know, they say never meet your heroes. There's a lot of black kids that grew up loving Hulk Hogan too. And so when they found out he hated us, they were like, fuck him. That's how it is when you find out somebody who isn't shit or they're not a good person and you love them. That's why I would never want to meet Michael Jordan. I would never want to meet Michael Jordan. I'm sure it wouldn't be a great, pleasant situation. I'm sure he would brush me off or wouldn't even acknowledge me or say, get the fuck out my way. If he said anything, it'd be fuck you probably. I would never want to meet Michael Jordan. I hear nothing but bad things about him. But that still doesn't mean like I can't separate the art from the artist. His artwork on the basketball court to me was bar none, the greatest. But still don't mean like he ain't an asshole. Yeah. So I'm just saying like, it doesn't really matter what he said. It don't bother me. Yeah, well, I mean, I would have to know who you are and what you look like. What culture do you come from? What's your race? All of that matters when you say things like that. All right, y'all, I ain't trying to turn this into no politics or no damn race shit. I'm just trying to talk sports. So, look, I've said everything that I've had to say about Hogan, and I've been very respectful. And that's a lot more than what you're getting from other people that disliked him. I disliked him, but I'm saying all the right things. I'm moving on, though. Justin Fields dislocated his toe. Let's see what happens with the Jets. Seems like they're just cursed. And back to Caleb Williams again. I don't know what to say about the Bears or Caleb Williams, but I think he was most of the problem. That's just my opinion. Joe Montana or Steve Young in their prime. Who you choosing? It's hard for me to say because I didn't see all of Joe Montana. I missed a lot of his years. Okay? I mean, I ain't that old. I just look like this. I ain't young, but I ain't that old either. I just look like this. I saw most of Steve Young. I saw most of his career. But I don't want to pick Steve Young just because that's who I saw the most of. I mean, all the stats and all of the games, the big-time clutch moments tell me it's Joe. It's Joe. But I love Steve Young, and I thought he was good, too. I thought he was actually more talented. He just wasn't better than Joe. I hope I answered your question. Kind of like the Jordan and Kobe thing. Everybody says that Kobe was better than Jordan, but Jordan's still the GOAT. If you can make that make sense, I guess that's what I'm saying about Joe and Steve. Okay. May he rest comfortably down below. Prayer hands, says Teresa 26. Do you post these as podcasts on Spotify or just YouTube and TikTok? Thank you for the question, Joseph Trimmer. I'm available wherever you get your podcast. Yes, it does go on Spotify. Immediately after I finish this live stream, it goes up in the airwaves, in the clouds. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, you can find The Great Debate Show. And that's all I did the first couple of years, which was very stupid. I just started doing this social media stuff this year. Because every time I would try to go live, I would get no likes, no nothing, no views. And I'm like, the hell with TikTok, the hell with YouTube. But I just didn't do it consistently enough. Now that I am, my audience is growing slowly but surely. What do you think I should do, Joseph? You think I should just stay on TikTok and YouTube? Because I'm thinking about letting that whole Spotify stuff go. I don't know. But yes, you can find me wherever you get your podcasts. But I would like for you to go to YouTube, type in The Great Debate Show, and hit subscribe. And the notification bell would help. Do you think a healthy Dak Prescott is a top 5 QB? Because I honestly think Cowboys could go all the way to the Super Bowl. Says Easton Ruby. Well, no, I wouldn't say top 5, but definitely top 10 when he's healthy. And the only reason why I didn't make him number 10 is because I wanted CJ Stroud to get some love after what he went through last year with a poor offensive line. And he had a few wide receivers in and out of the lineup. That's why I don't like some of the excuses that somebody made earlier for Caleb Williams. I don't know what the Bears' O-line was ranked, but if it wasn't ranked 29, 30, 31, or 32, then it was still better than Houston's O-line. The Texans' offensive line was ranked 28th. And he still made it to the playoffs and won a playoff game. And he might have had just as much talent in his receiving core, if not more, than C.J. Stroud. So I told people when I did the top 10 quarterback list last week, you can put C.J. Stroud at number 10 or you can put Dak Prescott at number 10. That's on you. That ain't no debate with me. I don't care which one you go with. Because I do understand that Dak is a good regular season quarterback. He really is. It's just he's not good when he needs to be. That's every Cowboy quarterback for the past 30 years. So I wouldn't go as far as to say he's a top 5 Easton, but I would say he's a top 10. And I also wouldn't go as far as to say that they can go all the way to the Super Bowl. That's why we call you all delusional. You Cowboy fans. I don't know what will make you think that they can go all the way to the Super Bowl. I do think they're going to be better than what people think they're going to be. And I put them on my list earlier this week when I did 5 new NFL teams that could make the playoffs this year. They actually made the list. I don't really necessarily believe that it's really going to happen, but I am optimistic. I may be reaching a little bit, but I went on and reached for it. And again, that should prove that I'm not biased here on The Great Debate Show. I just say whatever I think is going to happen. I'm a Niner fan saying the Cowboys may go back to the playoffs, so there's nothing biased there about it. But I wouldn't go as far as to say he's top 5, and I damn sure wouldn't say they're going to the Super Bowl. I would say that they're going to be a wild card team at best, and they'll probably lose that game. Now, their ceiling this year would be making it to the divisional round and then losing. But the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, yeah, all that stuff just seems to be forbidden for the Cowboys. You know, that just seems to be frowned upon to say anything about that. But hey, I understand you being optimistic. That's your team. All 32 teams, all fans of these 32 teams, you have every reason to be optimistic right now. Everybody's 0-0. But this is why Cowboy fans get a lot of flack. What do you think about the Commanders ceiling? Super Bowl. If they can get Terry McLaurin signed, and if that pass rush gets better, and if Marshawn Lattimore can stay healthy and help them out in that secondary, if Von Miller can do more for the Washington Commanders than he did for the Buffalo Bills, I think y'all are going to the Super Bowl. Thank you for the question, Quan Cooper. And I miss my should have been general manager Adam Peters. He's y'all general manager, but he should have been ours. We should have just gave John Lynch another title and let him kick his feet up, because he don't really do shit anyway. Kyle Shanahan is our head coach, offensive coordinator, general manager, everything. Niner fans know what I mean. What do you think about Denver, says Matt. I think they could possibly go to the Super Bowl. I definitely kind of think that they win the AFC West. I'm not completely sold on it just yet. That's not my final verdict, my final answer, but I'm probably picking the Broncos to win the West when we do the final predictions of every division early September. Late August, early September. Okay, Quan, thank you for the comment, though, man. Vargas boys in the building. Let me guess, it's their year. LOA. I know, right? I know. Raiders taking the AFC West. That's pretty bold, don't you think, Kate Lonk? That's pretty bold. What do you think about JD5, Jayden Daniels? I think sky's the limit for that brother, Quan Cooper. Easton Ruby, I like the Bills. Me too. Easton Ruby said, I ain't a Cowboy fan. Oh, okay. Well, why the hell do you think they're going to the Super Bowl? What do you see? Espo, what's up, man? What's the hardest season to be a 49ers fan? What was the hardest season to be a 49ers fan? Good question. 2004. It doesn't get much worse than 2004 or 5. 04 or 05, I'm going to go with 04. Because at least in 05, we had just drafted Frank Gore and Alex Smith. And at least there was something to kind of have high hopes on. We had a number 1 quarterback that we just drafted. I didn't have high hopes, but at least it was something to think about. But yeah, I would say 04. That was a terrible, terrible year. Yep. Good question, Espo. Geno Smith about to have a better year than Dak. This is a Raider fan saying all this stuff, y'all. He's a Raider fan. I don't know. I like Geno Smith. I do. But Dak is usually the better regular season quarterback. But I would actually put my money on Geno in the playoff game before I would Dak. Braxton Hills says not to be mean, but ripped to Hulk Hogan, but he was a racist. Yeah, we know, Braxton. We know. Yes, Hogan died today. I would love to see you debate some of these TV analysts, says My York 71. I would love to do it too, brother. I really would. I'd cook their asses. I would cook them. The day will come when everyone has to cash in their briefcase. Every day is a blessing. That's a bar right there, Steel Dre. That was a bar. You're so right. The day will come where everyone has to cash in their briefcase. Every day is a blessing. Prayer hands. I like that, man. You're not wrong. All right, y'all. I'm coming up on that hour. So I'm about to go pay them bills, man, like y'all know I normally do. I may go to TikTok. I may go to X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram for a second, just to kind of talk about Justin Fields and the Jets situation. Maybe focus on Caleb Williams a little bit more in Chicago. But other than that, that's all I really wanted to say was that Hulk Hogan passed away today at 71, because I do wrestling here on this show. And Justin Fields has a dislocated toe. I don't know which toe. Maybe it's the big toe, I'm sure. That's the easiest toe to dislocate, right? What's up to Jackson Ouchie in the building, or Jackson Ouchie says, what team are we talking about? Man, I'm just kind of all over the place today, brother, to be honest with you. I'm just talking about Justin Fields and his situation today, being carted off the field in practice. Time training camp started. And there'll be more players, too, that's going to get hurt. Hate to say it. Could be on my team, could be on your team. But this is something that has been... It's pretty much been... What's the word I'm looking for? It's been the normal. This has been the new norm here lately, right? Some of the biggest players, key players and athletes get hurt and tuck it out quick. As soon as we get started with training camp. It's going to be somebody that's going to piss you off. And you're going to be like, damn, not again. You know, whether it's that player or your team, like, no, not again. And we all think sometimes we have the most injuries. So, hey, chill, Kobe. Chill. Sit down. Okay, that guy Yeager said, as a Dolphins fan, how many games do you believe we can win this upcoming year? Man, I don't know, man. It depends on Tua. Depends on Mike McDaniel. And depends on what their defense does. But good question, though, that guy Yeager. What did you think about Tua Tagovailoa in his comments yesterday? First day of camp. He was asked about Tyreek Hill, and he said, no, our relationship isn't good. We've got to fix that. The last time I saw him leave, he said, I'm out. That's what Tyreek Hill said. He said, I'm out. Tua said, well, we're going to have to fix that. You can't just say, you just can't come back 6 months later and say, my bad, bro. So they did not. You know how some players just brush everything off and say, yeah, we're good, even when they're probably lying. Tua's kind of always got something to say. He's spoken. He's got a mouth. I just want him to put his play where his mouth is and get the Dolphins a playoff win. And that guy Yeager, I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't have them making the playoffs. And I'm a huge fan of Mike McDaniel, coming from over in San Francisco. I'm a huge fan of Tyreek Hill. And I'm rooting for Tua, but man, you got to stay healthy, and you got to win in the cold. When it's cold outside, and you need to win a playoff game for those guys in South Beach. And I'm not willing to predict that that's going to happen. I actually had higher hopes for the Jets this year before this Justin Fields news just broke this morning. Thank you for the comment, that guy Yeager. Jackson, that's what I'm talking about. Just football training camp all around the NFL. TC12 is back. What's up, man? He said the Niners stay injured. That's facts. That guy Yeager. But when we make that as an excuse, people say, stop whining, you 40 whiners. But there are people who are always hurt. That guy Yeager said, yeah, man, that has to be addressed. Tua is so limited. He is. The only thing Tua has that I like is that deep ball accuracy. And then with Tyreek Hill, though, being his receiver, it still looks like he kind of short arms it just a little bit. He can't out-throw Tyreek Hill. But he can throw a pretty good deep ball. That's something my quarterback can't do, Brock Purdy. But everything else, Purdy has him beat. I know some people kind of compare those two. It ain't that much of a comparison. Purdy has it, when it comes between the ears, Purdy scans everything and processes everything a lot quicker than Tua does. Tua's all right, but yeah, I can't, I'm sorry. It's just this year, I'm not making any excuses for anybody. I'm not going to say or believe anything until you show me you can do it. That's just it. The Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl or get back to the Super Bowl until I see them get to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't make that one of my predictions. I'm not going to say the Dolphins are going to beat the Buffalo Bills in 30-degree weather until they beat somebody in 30-degree weather. That's just it. But you're right, that guy. He is limited. 4-ring, 8P in the building. Man, welcome back, 4 Rings. He said R.I.P. to the Hulkster. Yes, sir. Everybody's getting the news. Everybody's finding out. I know. And for some reason, this is how goated these people are, because sometimes when you hear about deaths, how come some of them sometimes hit you like, no, he wasn't supposed to die. You know, we all are going to do it, but sometimes some celebrities pass away and you just feel like, no, you just thought somehow that they would never die. Or at least not before you. I don't know. When Michael Jackson passed away, I was like, huh? And even though I know we're all supposed to die, I felt like, no, this isn't supposed to happen. So that's how you know you're goated, when you feel like that. And I'm looking at these comments and I can just tell what Hulk Hogan meant to a lot of people, because they're like, oh my God, no. Yeah. Some people like that. That guy Yeager said facts. Thank you. I don't know. I'm only speaking for myself, but don't you kind of see the same thing? Don't you agree? Don't you feel the same way with some people? When Michael Jackson passed away, I was like, hell no. That motherfucker ain't supposed to die. I didn't get to see him in a concert first. And I know that was selfish to say, but it just hit me and I'm like, no. And of course he wasn't old. He was like, what, in his late 50s. Damn, Michael Jackson would be about 70. He would be in his 70s right now if he was still alive. Hogan 71, that's a good life as a pro wrestler. It actually is. At one point, nobody made it to 60. But you know why. And considering that Hogan was doing the same thing most of those wrestlers did, Yeah, I would say that is pretty good. You're right. That's actually a good comment, man. Thank you for the comment, Juan. That is not bad for a wrestler. You know they used to do all that juicing, man. Vince McMahon hired all them boys on that juice. Bust their damn heart before they even hit 55, 56. Most of them never made it to 60. Elmo said the same with Kobe. Yeah, that was another one. Especially with him being so young. You know, you just don't expect it. So it hits you like, no, this is not supposed to happen. I wasn't ready for this. That's when you know you goated. Bloody in the building says MJ was a ducking legend. Rip to the Pop King. What you said, brother. Great comment. What you said. Dolph is back. He said, cornerback Jalen Johnson got injured from the Bears. That's the best player on the team. Yeah, Jalen Johnson is a good player. He is. When did he get hurt? And are you suggesting, Dolph, that he is some of the main reason why they didn't win a lot of games? Did he make the defense look worse? Or, and I'm not saying he didn't, just asking. But he is good. Juan said, right. Thank you, Juan. Bobby, are we rocking with Hulk Hogan? He was a racist. P.O.S. Ooh. I'm not rocking with him, but it is a sad day still, Bobby. Juan said they aren't making it to 40. Who? Oh, you mean some of these wrestlers? Kobe. Kobe said Ric Flair, the last man standing. And Ric Flair just had some good news yesterday. Right before we got this bad news about Hogan, he said he's cancer-free. Posted a picture with the nurse in the hospital or the doctor office, and he was patched up on his arm or whatever, but he's been dealing with skin cancer on and off. And he was denying that too at one point, but now he's saying he's cancer-free. So that means the rumors were true. He did have skin cancer. But anyway, yeah, he's cancer-free. Kobe just said that Ric Flair's the last man standing. When it comes down to those legends that we grew up watching, you're right. I'm going to call my dad today, man. My dad is 71. Also, like Hogan just was, that he passed at that age. I'm going to call my dad today. Everybody, call your dad today. If you can. If he's still here with us. Juan said, right. Sad, man. That's right. Bloody said, how old is Rey Mysterio? I don't know. Rey Mysterio got to be knocking on 50, though. He got to be. Mikey says, I'm not a Hogan fan, but rip to the legend. Now, that's a good comment. That's all we got to say. Wasn't a fan, but rip to Hogan. That is acceptable. Yes, sir. MJ is still an icon. An icon forever. That's right, Juan. You got that right. I'm not a fan of going to concerts, but if there was one person I wanted to see in a concert, it was Michael Jackson. And I didn't get a chance to do that, but I don't like concerts, but to think I would have went to go see him. That says something. Man, that boy was goated. James said Hulk Hogan is in hell right now. Oh, man, I didn't mean to read that, y'all. Already, James? Zach McElroy followed the live creator. Thank you. Mikey, I am not a fan of Hogan, but rip to the legend. Thank you, Mikey. That's all that has to be said. Jason Owen, even though I do not like him, it's okay. F the baby 2 says I didn't like Hogan, but he is great. That's right. Even though that I do not like Hogan, at the end of the day, he had some great matches, says Jason Owen. Now, that part I disagree with. Hogan ain't never had a great match, in my opinion. But I still hate to see him gone right now. Zach was not hoping to wake up today to Hogan's death. 2025 needs to take a break. Well, I feel you, man. It will, Zach. In about 5 more months. Mikey, he already knocking on 50. Who, that Rey Mysterio? I believe you're right. He's got to be. Let's be honest. Kobe isn't that good, like he isn't top 10, says I don't know what that says. We talked about the NBA Top 100 last week. He was number 11 on the list. It was a great debate. Go back and check that episode out if you would. And thank you for the comment. Bloody, Rey Mysterio is 50. I was right. He is 50. Mikey agrees. He is 50. Vaughn, it's hot down here, brother. Hot as hell over here too. I don't know where you're at, but I'm in the down part too, here in Memphis. NTR Black Cat. He's a great wrestler, but a horrible person. He wasn't a good wrestler either. But I still hate to see him gone. I didn't like Hogan, but R.I.P. the immortal legend. Hulk Hogan is dead. RIP. Thank you for the comments, Mikey and Kratos. I can't believe next year gonna be 6 years without Kobe. Where has the time went? It goes fast, doesn't it? Where you at right now, says Bloody? Memphis, Tennessee. Juan, it's 91 here at Rochester, New York. Damn. It gets that hot in New York for real? I've heard it, but in the South, you know, Southern people be like, nah, y'all ain't got this humidity we got down here. This humidity is a motherfucker. I mean, it already feels like 100 right now. But we're around 91 right now, but it's going to get up to about 96 today, which is really like 106, 110, if you know how the humidity is here in the South. Hulk Hogan versus The Rock feud was amazing. That was pretty good. Dolph said Dolph was not supposed to die. I know, right? Long live Dolph. I like Bret Hart better than Hogan. Shit, so did I. Is Vince gonna go after Hogan? Oh, man, I don't know. No way I would know that, Kratos. Isn't Memphis usually cold? Hell no. Where did you get that from, Bloody? I mean, it gets cold, but not until January, February. And even then, it's never cold enough to rock. I got a Carhartt suit. You know, the little thick stuff. Keep you warm. Ask me how many times I wore that last winter. I'll answer for you. 0. It doesn't get cold enough. Now, I do have thick blood. I'm kind of hot-natured, but it never gets cold enough to wear the things that you got to wear when you go to the shop or when you're out in New York and Philly. No, it doesn't get that cold. Ashton, I have the same chair as you. All right. Same team and everything, Ashton? Kobe died 6 days after I turned 21. When Kobe died, I felt like my brother had died, man. It was sad. I know. I read the comments, man. I read them. It took a long time for people to get over that. Now, me, I'm going to just be honest with y'all now. I mean, I'm not going to hold my head too long on people that I didn't know. They were just what they were, celebrities, you know? And Kobe probably would have told me to get the fuck out of my way, too. Fuck you. I'm not signing shit. I don't know. But, you know, when they're gone, and I just say God bless the dead. But I don't hang my hat too long on people that I never met, people that I didn't know. That's just, to me, that's kind of groupie shit. And I ain't no damn groupie. But I do understand. If you grow up liking somebody and you like them and they pass away, it hurts. But it could never hurt more than somebody that I actually knew and loved. You know? That's just all I can say. That's all I can say today. Not trying to be insensitive, but I thought that people needed to let Kobe rest. I even got tired of hearing all of the comments and all the posts that people would make. Like, damn. I just thought they was just taking it too hard for somebody that they never knew. You know? Even if they met him one day and got an autograph. Like, still, you just got an autograph. I thought they just, that went on for a long time. I'm not going to lie. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but sometimes you got to know when to let them people rest, too. You know, if not just for them, but for their loved ones, the people in their circle. But I understand, y'all. I do. There might not be pro wrestling without Hogan. He deserves respect. Kobe, stop it. You're right, Joseph. I did say that as well. That he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. Kobe, chill. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me for that. But yeah, you're right, Joseph Trimmer. It would not be wrestling, pro wrestling, if it wasn't for the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. The merchandise, the t-shirts, the action figures. Yeah, he started all that shit. Mikey, this humidity is brutal. I can't stand it. For real. Where you at, Mikey? What part of the world are you in? Kobe paid off that girl. Oh, come on, man. See, we didn't have to. We ain't talking about that, y'all. Come on, y'all. Damn, there's a lot of comments I'm missing here. Man, that's a lot of stuff, man. I'm used to going to Memphis in like November. Okay, it's not cold in Memphis in November to me. Well, it's not. But I feel you, bloody. Gordo said, rip Hogan. At 240, the fuck he do? Joey, at 240. At 240. So, is Hogan looking up at us? It's not hot like Texas, says Trensky 93. Now that, I would have to agree with Trensky 93. You are absolutely right. I have never in my life felt the type of heat and humidity that I felt when I was in Texas. And I ain't been back since. I hated that shit. I really thought I was in hell. Like if hell really exists, it's in Texas. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Fuck Texas. Won't see me in that motherfucker. Not anytime before the months of January. December. Whenever it gets cold. You'll see me then maybe. But man, I went to Texas in late August, early September. That was the dumbest thing I could have ever done. Went down at Cowboy Stadium. Watched my 49ers beat the brakes off the Cowboys. 2014. That was the last time I've been. That was a nice trip. But man, it was hot as a motherfucker. So Trisky, ain't no debate there. Never have I been to a place hotter. I mean, you know it's hot when you want to just like whoop the air's ass. You step out and we got out of the car and we was like, God damn, what is this shit? It was terrible. It was terrible. Ashton said, yes, that guy, okay. Bang, bang, Ashton. That guy Christopher says, Brock, Purdy. That guy Christopher, Nick. Bosa? This is their year, says that guy Christopher. I hope you're right, man. I wasn't a big Lakers fan, but I respected Kobe and what he did. Same here. I've never been a Laker fan, but I did respect Kobe. And I respected him a lot more as he was on his way out of the league than I did when he was in the league. I got a 5-man home run parlay. What you think about it? Randy, Cal, Trout, Kurtz, Diaz. Says Henny, KY. Is that for Kentucky? It doesn't sound like a bad parlay to me, man. Good luck. Good luck to you, Henny. I can agree to what you are saying, says Mikey. Thank you. Jay says, I miss her. Her? I don't know. Right. It surprised me too. It felt like I knew him, says Juan. Yeah. Yeah. Jay said, I miss him. Okay, got you. Kobe, thank you for the comment, David. Mr. D, I mean, right. I understand. Some things hurt more than others. Yeah. Apparently so. Apparently so. Rip Hogan. Rip Hogan. Brother, how you going to be a Jays fan but not a San Francisco Giants fan when you are a Niners fan? I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I'm just rocking the hat. I'm not a baseball fan. I watch it from time to time. And I used to kind of claim the Giants, but I don't watch baseball like that. No need me lying. The team that I've been liking for the past 4 or 5 years is the LA Dodgers. I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I got a Dodgers hat too. So it don't mean nothing. I'm not a Blue Jays fan. Juan said Blue Jays logo was fire. I agree. But I'm still not a fan. Blue Jays, one of the best baseball logos. I agree. TJ9, 19. My friend was the nephew of Kobe. What? Really, bloody? The first ever Hogan versus Flair champion was epic. An epic wrestling moment in Hawaii, says Eel Chill McGill. Ah, man, I miss those Hogan and Flair days. And my boy Flair never won. I hated that. When do you think George Kittle retires to do WWE, or do you think he does it all? I think that, here's a bold prediction. What if I were to tell you that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl this year in their home stadium, and he's going to retire immediately after that and go to WWE? And you know why I say that could happen? Even though I doubt it. I'm going to say why I think it could happen in a few years, though. Now, he did come out and just say that he's in it for the long haul. And he said he could see himself being a Niner for a long time to come. I think that's bullshit. I believe him I believe that he kind of believes it, but I think if he were to win a Super Bowl right now, he'd leave. And I'm going to tell you why it's happening sooner than later as far as him going to the WWE. Did y'all see that stuff that he did with The Miz on the golf course? They did that little skit in front of the fans and everything, and he gave him that kick, a good kick. Miz sold it wonderfully, of course, but shout out to Kittle. He actually did a good fake kick without touching The Miz for real. It was pretty good to be an amateur, to be a football player. I think he's going to be a damn good wrestler too, because I know he's going to work hard at it because he loves wrestling just like we do. I wouldn't be surprised if he retires sooner than later. Now, I don't think he would do that if we're still on that quest for 6, but if we were to win the Super Bowl this year or next year, he's going to the WWE. And I wouldn't have thought that if him and The Miz didn't have that little skit that we just saw a week ago. Hope I answered that question for you, Joseph. I think he's going to go do it, and I think he's going to be pretty good at it. But I think we're going to win first. At least I hope. At least I hope. Now, I think Gronk said he wanted to try it too, but that never came into fruition. But Gronk is a stiff dude. He looks like a big stiff, though. I don't think he could do it. Kittle, I think he's actually agile enough, and he can actually, do some things. I think he could actually turn out to be all right. Yeah, okay. No San Francisco Giants fan, just not a baseball fan, period, Rambo. But I tried to rep them, and the Warriors, but my heart isn't in baseball and basketball like that. It just isn't. The Niners is the only team that I just like claim, that's my team, die hard, I ain't never leaving. Like if I relocated to tomorrow, I probably wouldn't be a Grizzly fan anymore. I just root for them because they're the home team, and it would be nice for us to win a championship, but I don't see that happening. Basketball, I like it, but after this dude retired, I didn't have a real team anymore. So yeah, y'all get off my back with that baseball shit. I'm not a baseball fan. I just rock baseball hats. They got a lot of fresh gear. San Diego Padres. I'm thinking about buying one of their jerseys, and I don't even rock jerseys anymore. But they be having some fresh ass jerseys, the Padres. When they switch it up and stuff, they got some good jerseys. It ain't even cold in November through January. Where about? In Texas? I bet it ain't. That's why I stay the hell out of Texas. That sun be beating down, says Mikey Man. What you said. All right, thank y'all for the comments, y'all. I'm finna get out of here. Insidious Unfiltered said, okay, I'll respect that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Is MJ better or LeBron? Dolph. You see that picture right there? That's my answer to that. What time did Hulk Hogan die? Man, I don't know about the time, but it happened today, they say this morning. Are you a Warriors fan? No. Saha, Joe, TTT. No, I'm not. But I will say this. Before the Warriors dynasty began, I did tell all the Niners fans when I used to be in those fan clubs and everything, Niner Empire stuff, I used to tell those people that were thinking about claiming the Warriors and the Giants, I told them, the Warriors are about to come up. So that ain't a bad idea. I just saw Steph Curry practicing with some tennis balls. Like dribbling tennis balls. And they were like, for real? So what? What does that mean? And I had to break it down to them and convince them to understand that, okay, I see your point. Like if you can dribble tennis balls. And I think he was like doing it in the dark and not looking at it or something. I mean, it was just phenomenal to see. And then I started watching him doing his little shoot-arounds and how he was just playing with the fans and throwing the ball all the way and making it. I'm like, man, this dude here, is he a clone? He can't be real. And I just looked at the Warriors and their roster and I said, hey, man, the Warriors are on their way. This was like 2014 when I told people that. They won the championship in 2015. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was right, that's right. I told people to watch out for the Warriors in 14, and they won the very next year in 15. And we kind of tried to rep the Warriors for a minute, but I just can't do it because I'm not a fan. I can't make myself like a team or a franchise that I don't really like. I grew up liking Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. And in 1999, I realized that I was not a real Bulls fan, and I have not had a basketball team to this day since. Believe it or not, I used to rock with LeBron. I did. But that was because I was hating on Kobe. I woke up to that and realized, LeBron, you ain't gonna never be what I thought you were gonna be. Why you didn't get in the post when Hakeem Olajuwon offered to help you become a very good post player? But he would get all upset and disappointed when somebody would call him a power forward by accident. I'm like, dude, chill. So he made a mistake, the reporter. It just told me everything I needed to know. He don't want to be considered a power forward. He don't want to get down there and bang. And I used to get mad at some of my homies calling him LeBum James, LeBrick James. He don't be bricking that much anymore, but he's still kind of LeBum James. So, 80s, 90s forever. 80s, Niners forever. GOAT. You're right about that, Eel Chill McGill. Bang, bang. But to answer your question, Dolph Lair, look at that picture right beside me. Let me go to TikTok. That New York boy is in the building saying, what's up, what's up, what's up? What's up? He said, I like the Knicks. No shit. How you doing, that boy New York? I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me. Where you been at, man? What's up, Joey? Joey Hallett in the building. How you doing, man? Thank you for your comment. Do you believe Dak days are numbered, having Milton behind him? Nah, I wouldn't say that. I think that if he gets hurt again, maybe. But I kind of think this is going to be a bounce back year for Dak. And I think that they're going to put up a lot of good numbers. Get the Cowboy fans all hyped up, thinking that they're going to do something in the playoffs, which they won't. But they'll probably make the wild card. Yep. That guy Yeager said, man, Vince McMahon is really going to outlive all the wrestlers, huh? Damn. I didn't even think about that or look at it like that, but you got a point there. You got a point there. Because Vince McMahon is like, what, 78? He's knocking on 80. And he was on that juice too, right? He wasn't just giving it to the wrestlers. He was on that juice too. He just beat the cases. And we know why he beat the cases. Okay, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Shout out to Lee White saying rip the hook. And he said, go Pats. Okay. All right. Patriots in the building. Not going to lie. When I first seen George Kittle on a WWE show with Bailey, I thought they was together. Says Mikey. Who knows? Oh, no. Kittle's a married man, right? Yeah. Still, who knows? Ric Flair is 76, so he might be next, says Bloody. Damn, he was that much older than Hogan? Or 5 years older than Hogan? Okay. I never understood why Spike Lee was a Jordan fan when he used to destroy his Knicks. Me either. Well, I guess that's just saying, look here. I can respect you. You're a damn good player. And I can hate you on the court, but maybe off the court, they just had a good relationship. I don't know. Nobody never really thought about saying that, though, out loud. That is true. Spike Lee did a lot of commercials with him. He did like him, but I'm sure he didn't like him when he was putting up 50, 45, and 50 in the Garden. You missed it. Ric Flair was just sobbing on TMZ. Oh, damn, for real? That's crazy. Bear down, says Scooby88. Cowboys in the house. What happened? Hogan passed away at 71. Thank you for the comment, Grind Creations. Let Jesus and God be with y'all, says Sove Prod. Good comment, man. Or woman. Thank you. Bloody said, God bless, brother. That's right. To SOV Prod. That's right. Good stuff, man. Okay. Thank you for joining me, Stacey Watkins and Grind Creations. Dang, Ozzy in good company. Okay, y'all. I'm finna wrap it up and get out of here. I've been here for nearly 90 minutes, so my time is up. I just wanted to talk about the Hogan passing today. Justin Fields and the toe dislocated with the Jets. What did that mean for the Jets? I talked about Caleb Williams and the Bears. What's going to happen with them, and we'll go from there. Yeah, Ric Flair is cancer free now. Heard about that yesterday. Talked about it earlier. Yep. He got some good news yesterday and got some bad news today. Juan said the Jets are done. Let's see what's up with the injury first. Let's see how long he'll be out. We don't know the severity of that toe injury just yet. I think, for one, if he's healthy though and can play, I don't think the Jets are going to be as bad as other people think. Your time is up. Our time is now. Rip Hogan says no. Okay, all right, I'm out, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow on a fantastic Friday. Same time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, live on TikTok and YouTube. If you can't make these live streams, it's okay. The episode will still be available on YouTube. And you can also still listen to that episode, audio only, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music. I'm available wherever you get your podcasts, not just TikTok and YouTube. If you will, if you have Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go to it, subscribe, or hit the follow button. Rate, review, and follow. Okay, I'm out. Y'all be safe. And until we eat again, y'all be safe out there, y'all. Peace.